Alright, maybe it's my imagination because I've been editing a lot of videos and using a little bit of a speed up while editing in order to make them go faster, but this game feels like it needs some coffee in it because, wow, this is very slow by comparison. Spirits in good humor today, and welcome back everyone to Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm. Gosh, it really does feel like something's off right now. I even did a check to make sure it wasn't screwing up, and it wasn't. Hey, found this in a drawer somewhere, thought you could use it. Pam. Energy tonic. Restores a lot of energy, plus 500. Wow, that's more than what we've got, even with all of our star drop upgrades. We've got the blessing of friendship today. And first things first, I am going to do some routine, because it looks like we don't really have anything else going on right now. For immediate quests, but we do need to start hunting around for leaks for George, so I will be back momentarily. Alright, and we will cut back in here as more of the potatoes are ready, so this seems like a good a time as any to go ahead and show this off, but everything else I have done, and already the golden animal crackers are working out quite well, because I've got 2 void eggs from today, so those are got both put in the mayonnaise machine, and on top of that, got 2 large goat milks, and those were also put into the machine, so we'll be having 2 high-quality goat cheeses and 2 void mayonnaise tomorrow, which are going to help quite a bit in our boon, I would think. I also went and chopped all of the hardwood logs as well, which is something I haven't been doing recently, but I figure, given the possibility that there might be leaks over there now, and we are doing that for a quest, that it might behoove me to make sure to double-check for those. So this is all we are putting away for now. I'll hang on to the energy tonic, I guess. But that does mean that we have 82 pieces of land that we need to grow crops on. And I think, if it is possible, which it is, I think, yes. The best thing to likely do here is going to be putting more wild seeds out there. So I'm going to get 20 of those. And we might potentially find more daffodils. Hopefully that will be the case. Because while I would like to gift those to certain people to up the friendship, getting that requirement for George is definitely going to be more important. And I accidentally threw a couple of those away, but that's okay. We can just put those right there. And it should still accept those, I think. We'll find out, I suppose. So regardless, it said 82, correct? 82, okay, so we need 62. So we're going to start with that and go from there. So additionally, I am going to be dedicating part of my day to just, in general, looking around and, cleaning up a little bit, but the cleaning up is also so that there are more opportunities for leaks to spawn. Vincent's birthday will be tomorrow. I was not trying to go in here yet. And we probably won't do that quest for Clint, sorry. We don't really... do we have time to do this? No, we don't, actually. We don't have time to grow anything else. Unless we find carrots today. We do not. Could get the dehydrator recipe, I suppose. But I think for now, I'm gonna not do anything. I'm just going to stick with what I have. And if I get any additional seeds, then sure, I'll plant them. But if not, I don't want to potentially waste time on that. So, oh, Lewis, I don't want you to catch me digging through the trash here. Or do I want Emily to? Let's try this one. Yeah, we're getting stuff out of it. Nothing too terribly useful, but oh well. Yeah, this still feels like we're going really slow. I must have been watching it at the high speed. I think that's all it was. I hope that's all it was. But yes, I am going to be just checking around this area of the forest. I've obviously already checked the farm. I'll check the backwoods, and I will check the mountainside. Part of this, again, is to clean it up, so that gives more places for the leak to spawn. And then part of it is also just generally making it easier to navigate through here, once again, just like we did the first time. Also, I am going to be chopping down the trees yet again. Primarily for the sap, because I want to, while the wood is helpful, the sap will give me more opportunities to be able to make quality fertilizer, and by doing that, I can make the strawberries higher quality, so anything that is above normal, I can go ahead and sell, and anything that is not above, or that is, that is normal, I can just use those and turn those into jellies. So that is the plan going forward for the day. There is another event coming up in spring, decently soon. It will be after the strawberries / egg festival. And that will be something that we did not have access to in year 1, as the bus needed to be repaired. So if by some miracle you got the bus repaired before the mid-spring, then you could have gone to this. But the odds are pretty dang low. I'm willing to bet somebody's probably done it, though. I don't think it would be impossible, but it certainly would not be easy. You'd have to pretty much dedicate all of your time to mining to get that bus unlocked. And even then, it would be a little difficult to do, as, mines aren't unlocked until a certain day. So you'd have basically a week to pull it all off. It would not be easy. I would like to get some animals in addition for Marnie, but I know that she's not going to be there today because she's going to her yoga workout thing. So, tragically, that will not be a possibility, but I can do that tomorrow in-game. And it doesn't have to be done, right this second. I've been mentioning needing to do it since, I think mid of winter, and still haven't done it yet, so... And either way, we're clearly doing just fine, but it would help to get those knocked out, as I think we are well past the point of I will not be using 53,000 plus gold to spend entirely on strawberries. Are we going to be spending a lot? Yeah, but I don't think we're going to have quite that many tiles open. So, as a result, we'll have some left over to be able to spend on other things. Not gonna lie, I was expecting to see a little bit more out here in terms of wild forageables, but again, maybe that's because all the debris. I don't know in particular if the debris will, they decide, okay, we're gonna spawn X amount of forageables for the day, but if they land on a tile that there's any debris, then they just get removed. You don't get to keep them, and so that's sort of your reward for keeping the place clean, I guess. But hey, if it is, then that means that we'll have more opportunities tomorrow. Anything down here? Nope, doesn't look like it. Have to see if Gus has anything special as well. If only I'd brought my mining pan with me, but that's okay. Perhaps there are some spring onions today, though the trees have kind of blocked those areas a little bit, but that's alright. I'm gonna fix that issue right now. Because, again, while I said not too terribly useful, do remember that we have the ability to make the spring onions worth 5 times what they used to be. So, we'll get a little bit more out of them than we normally would. It's amazing how fast you can just crush these things now. Basically a full stack of wood by the time we get out of here. It is a bit weird to have just nothing going on here. I might have to end up recording a second video. Part of the reason I'm doing this is I did a ton of editing this morning, and it's the afternoon now, but I had edited something like 8 videos or something ridiculous like that. It was 4 days of winter and 3 days of spring or something like that. Might have been 4 and 4 or 5 and 3. But it was definitely a lot. And so as a result, since I've got work tonight, provided that there's not too much to do, which, that could go either way, this will give me something to do, which will be good. I think I am going to start by Swinging over here first. Yeah, I'm not looking for you, Pam. I'm looking for Gus. Ooh, more lucky lunches. Yes, please and thank you. I actually came here for coffee, but you know what? I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to go ahead and take another quick look on the beach as well. I don't think having beach forageables here stops the chance for non-beach forageables to appear, but on the off chance that does, this is just a little extra bonus. Might hang on to that mussel. I don't remember how many of those I have. There we go. Those, all of those. For the record, the spring seeds are any wild seeds, so spring, summer, fall, winter, they will take 7 days to grow. So as long as you have more than 7 days left on your list for whatever you're trying to do, basically, then you would be able to plant them this way. It's not going to be a guarantee that all of these are leeks by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, the likelihood of that would be extremely low. However, you're going to get a pretty decent chance. If on average you're going to get, 25%, so you basically got a 1 in 5 shot, you should on average get 4 with 20 sets, so, or 20 seeds rather. So we're going to hope that's the case. Since I did pick up another daffodil, that will probably also go to making another set. Now we'll just keep working on the trees. Sebastian, I don't really have anything for you right now. But you and I have full friendship anyway, so I guess that's alright. We'll go here, I think. Hey, there's one. Ooh, actually, even better, there's 2. That does count as 2. Can we get 2 out of this? Nope, just the 1, but that is halfway. I don't know if the game is, aware or not in terms of, oh, you're trying to go for leeks because there's this event thing going on. Speaking of carrots from earlier. Oh, you're trying to go for leeks because there's this event thing going on. So, we're going to make them more likely that they'll appear now. Not really sure if that's a thing or not. If it is, then I appreciate it. If not, then no big deal. One more spot I can check for these, which is kind of just in this general area. We'll see how the quarry looks, and at that point we'll go and put everything up and then figure out what to do with the remaining hours. So I would wager there's, yeah, I'm not even going to bother to really hunt around here other than this, which is just a rice shoot. Yeah, I'll take the horse back, why not? So I guess it was a good day for foraging, if nothing else. We'll have to figure out what else to do, though. Because I'm not sure. You guys will already know, because you got to see the goals for the day, so you already know what's coming up. Oh, wait. There is one other thing. I mentioned this place in particular liked to be a pretty nasty mess. Let's get this cleaned out as well. But say, I think primarily what pops up here is mostly artifact spawns rather than forageables. I don't really think you see much here, if anything. I'm trying to recall if I've ever seen anything up here, and if my brain's saying that you probably haven't seen anything, there's a good chance that it's either low or none. Still, let's get the excess junk cleared out of here. Because again, if you do want to grow trees, but you don't want them taking up space on your farm, you could certainly do a lot worse than putting them here. It's probably not your best space, as the quarry is going to be a little bit faster to access, provided that you got the mine carts. But if you've got this, decently early on and you don't have the quarry unlocked yet, this could certainly work. It is getting late, but we're just about done here. There we go. That is all cleaned up. And we do have over 999 wood. We ended up getting a little bit extra than that. So there we go. It was a heavy foraging day, but I would say it is well worth it. Let's plant those seeds before we head out here. Oh, there's actually more down here too. But we're full, so we can't do anything with that, so... I guess we're gonna have to... just throw that down on the ground, I guess. Oh, now all of a sudden I could carry it? Okay, whatever. So we'll drop all that off. I don't really need the coral. Those can go. That can also go. How are we doing on mussels? Should I... Yeah, I'll toss those in and get rid of the gold star, I guess. That could certainly work. Anything else I want to toss here? Not really. That can go get recycled. Good bit of this is getting put up here. All of that, this. Doing good on sap, so we're good on that front. I'll take that back and throw it in the crusher. Clams can go in here. Put the energy tonic and the warp totem in there. I think it is going to be worth potentially risking passing out here. Provided that I can get inside, then we are okay. Yeah, we got inside, and that's the important thing, so we're not taking the money penalty. Oh, it actually let me get in there. I honestly thought I was going to pass out right before I hit the bed, but nope, we are okay. Other than there being a gnat in my face. There we go. That's what we're looking like for today, for all of our crops. So those potatoes are still clocking in some pretty good numbers. So imagine what it'll be like with the strawberries. Right, let's take a look. Spirits are neutral today. The Queen of Sauce has Maki Roll, which you already know. Take that Jade. Our blessing is Infinite Energy, which would have been handy yesterday, but oh well. Better late than never. Hey, I found this in a drawer somewhere. Thought you could use it, Pam. Did we just, like, have a Groundhog Day moment there? That was weird. I'm gonna sell one, I guess. Just, you know, because we haven't. And once again, we will do a quick routine, so I'll look around, see what there is to see. Get the horse out of the way, so I can put these in there. And once we've done our routine for the day, I will be back. Alright, this is what we're looking at right now. I decided to put away the watering can once I got the patch in the corner watered after refilling it, and I also put away the axe and the scythe as we just cleared a bunch of stuff up, so there theoretically should not be anything else in the way. Everything that we picked up here, I'm going to go ahead and sell. These I can toss in here. We'll throw in a few more. And it is, other than search around for more leaks, definitely going to be a gifting day. So let's see. The wizard we've already gifted. Jazz we can gift. So we have Jazz, Sandy, and that is it for the week. Wow, I did a really good job apparently initially. All right, so that's for Jazz. And for Sandy. Oh, that's tough though. I hate to say it, especially for Sandy, but I think I would be better suited to making more wild seeds. Look at it this way. They're not all going to be leeks, and some of them probably genuinely will. Oh, they went to a lower quality. Some of them probably genuinely will end up being daffodils. So that will be spending some now to gift her some later. So to me, that will be worth it. All right. I also should just drop these off so I won't keep having this particular issue with, like, having them get shifted around and what have you. So I'll probably do that as well. But first, let's go see if Jazz has not already taken off to her school day, which is entirely possible. She may have already gone. Jazz, are you still home? No, you've already taken off for the day. Marnie, I also need to talk to you to purchase some animals. There are two things I want to get. First of all is I am going to get, if I can find one, which I might have to back out of a few times. Yes, there we go. Well, it only took 2 attempts. That's not too bad. A blue chicken, which, I mean, if it's a blue chicken, there's only really one option. I'll send little Kohiro to her new home right away. This is a reference to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, for those who do not know. There's a big side quest where there's a blue Kuko named Kohiro. Other than that, a pig. I do want to get at least one pig. They're trained to find truffles, and they live in the barn. I have no idea. Konny. And the other crazy thing I'm going to do is I want to purchase another one. Yeah, the pigs are that good. I'm actually going to get a second one. Let me think. I mean, we could go with an easy one here. I did not use Tepig as a starter in Pokemon Black and White. I personally chose Oshawott, but I have always liked Tepig. I love Tepig's design. I'm not super big on the evolutions for it, but I think it's a really cute fire starter. And, you know, from what I've heard from a friend that did use it, it can be kind of rough to use starting out. So I don't know how well that transferred over into later game. Or he could have just gotten one with particularly bad IVs and a bad nature. I don't know. It is really anyone's guess. So yeah, this will be the upside to walking around here with this little extra bonus of the spring onions will actually come into play. We should have looked at that. I forgot to in the last episode, if I remember, which is unfortunately pretty unlikely, but if I remember to, I'll show that off in this day. But it looks like there are no forageables here. So let's move on to town and drop this off to Jazz. Then we'll check the other spots up in the mountains in the back road, and if we can't find anything there, we'll just see what we do with the rest of the day. I mean, regardless of whether we find them or not, it's not going to take up our entire day to do so, I don't think. Also, the dogs have returned to their screaming. Ooh, another daffodil. Good. We'll gladly take that, and we'll continue to talk very loudly so that the dogs can't be heard as frequently because they're being very loud and obnoxious. This is why you shouldn't have 5 pets in a 1-bedroom apartment, because that's too many pets in a small confined area, and when they're already rambunctious as it is, they're going to tend to get louder. Hey, Marnie won't let me go after 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I know you're not afraid of the dark anymore, Jazz, but sometimes these things happen. In the meantime, while I continue to talk over the dogs screaming as much as humanly possible, let's take a look at how much social points we have with you. We're only missing 1. That's really good news. That means that we're not too terribly far off from getting you maxed. Since I've got the extra daffodil, that will probably also be converted into having... Ooh, there's another one right there. Okay, I think they've stopped. God, those dogs are annoying. I'll probably transfer... I mean, I will definitely transfer at least one of those into wild seeds. Potentially both. I'm kind of on the fence if I'll do that for both. What's the quest for today? Looking for green algae to eat in front of the TV. I think I've got max hearts with you, Shane, so... I probably won't go out of my way for that. Yeah, I do have max hearts with you. There's not that many people left. Is it just... Yeah, it's Jazz, the Wizard, and then, Jazz, the Wizard, Sandy. So that, yeah, only 8 total. We're pretty close to being done there. I'm not going to spend too much time on this screen because, again, I know that the leaks do not show up here. If you look up specific forageables, you can find, like, the chances of where to find them and where to find them, because just because they're forageables does not mean they all show up in the same spot. After all, if they did, you'd be able to find coral in places other than the beach. And clearly that's not going to happen. Hey, there's one. I'm going to hand this off to you. Just because, you know, you're a nice guy, Linus. And I know you could probably use some good old forageables. I should check the very lower part of this. Alright, away we go. So yeah, we'll do a quick loop around to check the backroads area. I will go ahead and check up north. Again, I don't think any forageables pop up here. Maybe an artifact spot will, and if I can get something out of that, that would be handy, but... I don't know, the artifacts for me are always kind of things I wouldn't say, like, what's the phrase for it? Trudge my feet on, or, you know... I don't try to go out of my way to have those occur super slowly. It just seems like naturally there's other more important things typically going on, and as a result, I guess it's drag your feet, not trudge your feet. Oh well, gets the same point across. Also, they're the pigs. Let's go say hi to them real quick, and the blue chicken that you can see right there. Do want to add to their friendship points. And I'll go ahead and steal these real quick. Sure, why not? Do this. I don't know what we're going to need the copper bars for, but I'm sure eventually something will come up. Alright, let's see. Over here, we'll drop both of these, and the cheese as well. That can go in here. The other piece of trash I'll toss in there. Oh, I don't have space for tossing it in there. Oh, well. I could have sworn I moved these elsewhere. I guess I didn't. You know what I could do? I just said, I don't know what we're going to use these copper bars for. I lied. I know what we're going to use these copper bars for. That's what we're going to use them for. That can go back up. Forgot to store that as well. We'll just swap that out. There. Now I got plenty of space for those. Not forgotten where we're going, by the way. I'm just having to do a little moving stuff around. Don't want to accidentally screw myself here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and drop the leeks off first before making the remainders of ones into more wild seeds. Hey, Evelyn, don't mind me. I'm just helping you with your little secret project here. George, you can just keep on watching TV. Don't need to pay me any mind. Alright, cool. 7 of 12. I guess even if you did put all the leeks in the kitchen and got the 12 points, it would still not give you it for not gathering 12 leeks, so that would kind of be your dead giveaway. Alright, before I make too many sets of wild seeds, the other thing I need to do is check... Oh, it's tempting to go give her one. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But I also need to make sure that I have enough spaces tilled, because if I don't, and then there's no point in making too many. So, one more reason to come out here, I guess. Yeah, we'll do a quick little run around here. I don't have my axe on me to cut down the trees. But I'll grab forageables. Oh, visitor, yeah. Yeah, I'll be sure to tell her you said hi. Sorry, you're kind of getting shafted here, but you are the person that is technically the most difficult question mark to reach. I would argue Ken's probably easier to reach, but he is also at lower hearts. So it's kind of more incentive to work on giving him more friendship points. But sometimes you literally have to choose between groups of friends and what you want to go do. There have been a fair few cartoons that have had that exact dilemma with their character of, oh, like, I want to go do this, but I also want to go do that. But I can't be in two places at once, and either they find a way to be, and it doesn't work, or, you know, they have to learn to make decisions. So we'll drop that in there. Get rid of those. Toss this in here. Alright, so how many spaces do we have open? 52. Okay. So we'll have 50 pretty much with the 2 carrot seeds. So I think we are okay to go crazy on this. Which really we can only do 2, it looks like. So we'll do... There we go. Oh, did I not grab enough dandelion, I guess? There we go. Working on this. I keep forgetting there's a bunch of mystery boxes in here too, but those aren't super, super important, so it's okay if those don't get unlocked anytime soon. Any spots up here? No. Alright, they're all down here then. Alright, there we go. Yeah, some of these are starting to come untilled, but that's not too big of a deal. From here, I mean, we don't really need to do any of that, so I'm thinking we can't obviously get to the desert to do high-level mining. We could do low-level mining, we could do fishing. We don't really need anything from mining, or from fishing, sorry. We don't need anything from fishing. Do we need any, like, low-level stuff from mining? We are kind of low on iron. And on top of that, we still have not gotten all the dust sprites defeated. And if I'm going to go mining, I might need something with which to defeat them. Genius. So yeah, let's do some mining. We've got infinite energy, so we're pretty much good to go on that front. And since I'm here, I am kind of curious as to how far along we are in the Monster Slayer quests. This is another thing I typically don't pay attention to until much later, but we're kind of at a weird point where there's not much else going on. 777, nice. Let's see, dust sprites, 463, so we're only got 47 more to go. That's actually not a lot, and we've almost got all the rock crabs as well. So yeah, I see no reason why we can't work on that. I would rather do the dust sprites than the rock crabs because of the iron, so we're kind of doing a whole 2 birds, 1 stone thing here. And we do still need to grab the remainder of the secret nodes. If you can read this, come to Secret Woods. Please bring maple syrup. Yes, I do need to do that. Whoa. I'm getting a weird glitch going on, so I'm gonna end the recording and start it back up and see if that fixes the problem. Alright, we are back, and you might notice, potentially, depending on how it came out in the editing studio, that the frame rate's a lot higher. I figured out what the problem was, at least for this particular video. I don't know how, but somehow I managed to not plug my laptop in, despite, you know, like, having it all set up. I literally just did not do the final step of plugging it in. The actual, like, power strip and everything was right there. Like, that part was all plugged in. It was literally just that one single step of plugging it in from the port into the laptop, computer, either way, that I didn't do, somehow. And so that was why things were going wonky, is because the battery was getting low. It wasn't getting super low. It didn't give me, like, the, hey, warning, you've got, like, 30 seconds to, you know, do something about this. Good luck. It was at about 13%, but yes, this would explain why it felt a bit off. And as they say, knowing is half the battle, though I think in this case knowing was like 99% of the battle, and the 1% was, you know, actually doing the action of plugging it in. Oops. Yeah, I would not I wouldn't hate to see the bats right now, but we've already done that quest, so I'm probably gonna just skip on that. Hey, there we go. There's some dust sprites. Come here, you. Oh no, I want all of your friends. Come here. There will be no survivors. Even though I do own Survivor for the Wii and have considered playing it as a one-off April Fool's joke or something, because even though I've not played it, I've seen people play it, and I know the game's terrible, but I mean, like, what do you expect? It is no bueno. I think we did that for a stream once, as we essentially went through, like, all of my games. It was like, there's no point doing a Let's Play, and the game is ranging from mid at best to actively terrible. So we, like, played them each for... Ooh, there's another secret spot for, like, half an hour. And part of me is considering dipping out to get both of those secrets. That one and the maple syrup secret. But I think it would be just, like, better off time-wise to just wait until the following day. I think I'll record one more video after this. Since now that the blunder has been fixed, I kind of have a little bit more drive to continue onward. And I can get one video edited in a night easily. In terms of writing commission work, I'm just waiting to hear back right now because I've got a fair bit done. Had a huge 24-page one that I finished up this weekend, and then had like another much smaller one that was like, it was only a couple pages that they were like, hey, here's the update on what I want. And I literally just finished it and immediately sent it back to them like 20 minutes later. And that was while I was half awake. It's like, all right, how does this look? Oh, it looks perfect. Cool. I probably would have done better if I was a little bit more awake, but, you know, that wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just, woke up and that was one of the first things I did was check my Discord. Hey, there's a few more of you. Hey, come back here. I mean, it doesn't have to hurt to have the coal either, but I don't think coal's actually something we've been running low on, which is weird, because it seems like most times I play this game, of all the basic materials between coal, iron, copper, and gold, the one that I am typically missing is the coal. So I appreciate it not being missing. Strange note. Found a note barely legible asking you to bring maple syrup to the secret woods. Bring maple syrup to the secret woods. Good news is, as long as you can sound it out, it's not too terribly difficult. Anything else in here? Not especially. We'll start making use of that geode crusher again, I tell you. In the meantime, let's put everything up, and then I'll decide what to take back out of here. Put the sword in there, sure. Coffee bean. Cave carrot. Put those in there for now. As for the winter roots, I've no use for these. You may have them. We can make a few more of these. Let's keep those. Ideally, I would always like to try to keep that number above like 20 or 25 even for the bars. But I mean, if we're using them, they're not going to waste or anything. There's no way I'm going to be able to get those over there in time, so we're just going to go to sleep for the night. Yeah, that didn't exactly cover the cost of 2 pigs, but you know what? Again, we're not going to be using that much money for the strawberries, and to have another 7,000 under the belt is always good. This is easily the smallest timer I've seen on one of my videos yet, 5 minutes and 24 seconds because of the cut. But that will do it for this video. Next time on Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm, it's going to be more of the same. It looks to me as if there is no one left to gift for the week. So we're good on that front. So it's going to be hunting for getting the quest done for George/Evelyn. So we'll be hunting for leeks. And other than that, kind of just stocking up on resources we might need soon. I'm thinking primarily, again, the iron, but also iridium might be a good option, depending on how quickly I get the rest of the stuff in the day done. So, until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.